was to pick 3 to 4 negative scripts that you find in your narrative and turn them into something positive, a positive affirmation. She also asked us to create a new power statement that we could say to ourselves 3 times a day for 30 days. And then lastly, she asked us to make a decision like right then and there that we're going to work towards our goals diligently. Okay. So how did you guys do? Does anybody want to share any of their affirmations? Did anybody get those done? And if you don't want to, it's okay. I'm not going to pick on anybody, but if you want to share, I want to give some time for that.
I got them done and I don't mind sharing. I did it very simple. I made the decision last week and I have been working my butt off to accomplish my goals. And so I just made my affirmation very simple and it was, I am doing this.
I love that. Do it now, do it now, do it now. Yep. And done, done. Done, yep. Done.
Yep. So I'm going for the court of sharing and I'm right now at, I think 2 out of the 24. So I've got 4 months to get them all. So we're doing that.
Yep. I love that, Kelly. I totally believe in you. And if there is anybody in this business that I have seen do big things on a deadline, it is you, darling. So I believe that you will do it. Totally. Anybody else want to share theirs? No? Okay. I am going to, oh, go ahead.
I'll share mine. I just was trying to find it so I could read it because I don't have it memorized yet.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, there. Okay. I'm sorry. I went away. April, go on. I'm sorry. I was having speaker issues.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing you too.
It's quiet, but
I think you just need to bring the microphone closer to your mouth, MJ, and then we'll be able to hear you better.
I had some issues with it with another event this week.
That's perfect. I can hear you better now.
Thank you. Okay.
You go ahead, MJ.
Oh, I just wanted to say that I did mine. I'm glad to have a power. I'm not sharing any of it, but I'm glad to have a power statement for the first time in a couple of years.
Yes, that was one thing that I was missing. I did mine too. April, do you want to go ahead and share?
Okay, so this is my affirmation. I am attracting ambitious, energetic, emotionally stable, financially able women to my personal team on a weekly basis. Achieving directorship by the end of March. Fabulous 50s director by the end of June, because that was, I included the homework assignment in my affirmation. And then Power Start Plus is my plan every single month.
I love that. That's good. And it's so, I can hear it in your voice. Like it's just done, just like Kelly, done. So good. So finish up directorship by the end of March, Power Start Plus every month, and Fabulous 50s by the end of June.
Correct.
Hey, you can do this, girl. So excited for you. Okay, I'm going to read mine real quick just because it helps hold me accountable. That's the only reason why. So I am the healthy, inspired, consistent, balanced, and divinely aligned Heidi. I'm attracting women into my unit at a very rapid rate, and I'm gold medaling every single month. I'm a magnet for women who are financially stable, but desiring more in their life that can be fulfilled through Mary Kay and who are ready to invest in themselves and their business. I see myself building financial abundance through my business with Mary Kay and my top director leadership skills. I know, and with my top director leadership skills, I know I'm leading other women to rise to their greatness as I rise to my own. I'm so excited to be teaching at Mary Kay events and using my passion to inspire and educate others. I'm making healthy choices and carving out time to go swim at the gym 3 to 5 days a week. I love eating clean and low carb and reaching my first weight loss goal by Seminar 2024. I see myself earning my first MK car, growing leaders within my unit, and celebrating those achievements at Seminar as a unit. And I just did mine kind of like with all things in mind, not just my business, but also my health goals too, because those are really important to me right now. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. So you guys can help hold me accountable. Thank you. All right. So tonight we're discussing booking. Now that we have our time management, we worked that out. We did our weekly plan sheets, got organized. We have our list of 30 people that we want to facial, and we have our mindset adjusted for growth and positivity. And now it's time to get to work. Mary Kay always said that booking is the lifeline of your business. And if you're out of bookings, you're out of business. I've experienced that myself recently. I love how aligned all my trainings are lately. It's like the things I'm training on are the things I need. And it's helping me tremendously. I had a really good week, which I'm going to share with you guys in a little bit here, but the work that we do in Mary Kay is by seeing people. It doesn't matter whether it's on the go or in person or how we're doing it, but this is what we really get paid for. It's fun and it's easy to hold appointments, but you have to have a consistent booking routine in order to be in and stay in business. So if this is the most important part of building, then you want to master this skill. So that's what we're going to do, is really master this, get into it. I've got some tips for you guys. The great news is that there are so many different ways to work your business now. It's not just in person. We've got virtual and Facebook and hybrid and the Waverly way and doing the traditional way and everything in between. And there's so many different themes out there for bookings, for parties, that we're able to reuse our customer base as well, which I'm going to share that too in a little bit. Okay, so let's start with booking tips for your Mary Kay business. Number one is just don't wait. There is no perfect time. You'll never know how to do it perfectly. And the lights are not always all going to be green. There's always going to be something that's coming or going by or an obstacle. And so just start, because when you don't feel like it, or even when you don't think that you're ready, that's when you should be booking. This is where those little tiny actions breeds more action and then creates more confidence for you. So just making that first phone call. Number two is find time in your calendar over the next 2 weeks to mark out times you're willing to hold appointments in person or virtually. And this is part of your homework. So if you are a Pacesetter's participant, make sure to write that down. So for the next 2 weeks, I want you to mark out all the times that you're willing to hold appointments. I like to highlight them in my calendar. So like I'll set up like Saturdays are the big one, because a lot of people are open on Saturday or available on Saturday. So I'll do like 10, 1, and 4, and I'll highlight them in my calendar. And it's like, okay, and I put them in pencil in case things change, but that spot is highlighted. And when I see that, it's like, oh, I got to fill that spot. And it helps me to stay motivated that way. Number 3 is to get your contact list together for everyone you'd like to reach out to, including referrals from old parties and your current customers. So we created that list of 30 people for new faces that you want to see. And we did that on week 1. But now I want you to get that list, and I want you to add to it people who are current customers who really love the product. And make sure you've got your phone number on the sheet with it. And if they're a referral, write down how you got them so that you can have easy access to that when you start booking. You're going to have it all on one piece of paper. And this is going to help you to stay organized and keep track of who and how you contacted them. And we have a bubble sheet. It looks like this. It's I'm going to post, this is a newer one. I like the colors. I don't know. I just like the colors. So I picked a new one, but there's a pink one on the Future Inspired area page, but I'll email this one out as well. But it just has a space for the name. You can write the phone number in there. You put 1/ through it when you have made when you've left a message or you've made a contact. I just make a contact because sometimes I'm texting them. And then once they've responded to me, I put an X through it. And then once they're booked, I fill in the circle all the way. And so you're going to see that in your email too as well. Number 4 is decide what your hostess plan will be in advance. So it needs to be something that you are passionate and excited about so that you can really work with your hostess on getting her the most free product for hosting a party. And we're not doing hostess coaching tonight, but I really want to make sure that whatever you pick, Mary Kay has got one out there. There's so many. If you just go in and Google or go to Pinterest and type in Mary Kay Hostess Program, you'll find a ton. These, I'm going to share with you a couple. That this is the one that I started with, is $100 and free to party with me. I think this might have came from April, this specific graphic, but it's talk about my lisp. But it is easy to replicate. It's got, it's got, I don't want to say like smaller numbers, but it's got like really achievable numbers on there. Providing the guest list within 48 hours, that right there alone is going to get them $20 in free product. Having 5 or more guests present who are 21 and older, you could change this to say 18 and older. Having 225 or more in total party sales, having 2 bookings for future parties, having $100 or more in outside sales. Those are friends who can't join us. And so, this gets them $100 in free product. That's only $50 out of your pocket. And if they're doing all these things, then, you're going to be making more than what you're spending on it. And then this is the one that I used recently. That's the one that I started with because the price point was smaller. And so it was easier for me to manage. I really like this one though. And it's earned $200 in product to party with me. My customers really like it. And I've upped my numbers on it. And so it helps me to get more sales. So I give them $50 when they have 4 or more people in their session and hold the original date. It's not just having one or the other. They have to do both. $50 when you have 500 in total sales, including your outside sales. So I combined those two. I liked that better because it was a round number and it was 10% of the sales and I liked that. $50 when 2 or more people book and hold a party of their own within 30 days. I gave it a time limit. I feel like having that time limit is great. And then I just put this as a credit on my customer's account. So when she's booking her party, those 2 people booked, but I don't give her that product until they hold. And then she can help hold them accountable to doing that as well. And then $50 more when you and one guest listen to the business opportunity and have a pink chat. And I talk about that during my parties. And we're going to share a little bit about that next week when we are doing more on parties. But I feel like this hostess program for me helps me to work full circle easier because it gives them incentive to work full circle. And so that's why I like adding in there that business opportunity. And I always share like quick fun facts while the charcoal mask is drying or while we're waiting for foundation primer to dry or, whatever I'm doing in my party. I like to drop it in there little bits here and there. But that's not what I consider a pink chat. I think that is just planting the seed and getting the bug in their ear, and it's like, hey, this is what you could do. And then when I have a pink chat, they already have that bug. The seed's been planted. They've been thinking about it. And, we're going to talk about this in the parties week too, but I like to have them say, can you watch what I do here today and see if it's something that you could do too. And I've been having, more pink power chats since doing that. So that is awesome. Any questions about hostess rewards? Because there's so many of them out there. Do you guys all have one that you like?
Heidi, I love yours. And are you willing to share that with us as well? I would love to. I like yours with the roses. I have the same one, but mine doesn't look as cute as yours. Can you send us an editable one that we could steal from you since yours is so cute and you're so talented?
Absolutely. I will share it in the Facebook group for the Canva edit link.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Don't you guys agree? That was so cute. I love hers. And it's the same as mine, but yours looks pretty.
That's what I was going to say too. I was like, I think it's the one that you made up a while ago too. And I have been using that one, but I'm like, hers looks so pretty.
I know. It just goes to show you can always improve on something that works well. Thank you, Heidi, for improving it.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Sorry to interrupt. I just thought I'd ask.
You're fine. Okay. So number 4 was figure out your hostess plan. Okay. And that's actually going to be part of your homework too. If you're participating in Pacesetters, is to make sure that you have your hostess plan down pat. You're excited about it. It's something that you feel good about. Because if you don't feel good about your hostess plan, you're not going to do it. And if you are brand new and you're like, I don't know, you just don't know. Even something so simple as giving the hostess the satin handset. I've had hostesses who love that. So I don't tell them they're going to get hostess rewards. I just show up at their party with the satin hands and I have it wrapped up cute for them. And I'm like, here, this is for you. I appreciate you welcoming me into your home. And then give them that. And then we use it during the party, but then the hostess just gets to keep it. And so that's worked really good for me in the past too. Okay, deep breath. Okay, so number 5 is clock in. So I've talked about this in my trainings before about making sure that you are treating your business like a business. Really focus on being action oriented. So set a specific amount of time aside each day. It can be as little as 10 to 20 minutes, but decide how many calls you want to make and make them no matter how you feel. And these don't have to be calls, they can be texts or voice messages, which I'll share in a little bit too. But regardless of the results, I want you to take action that you're committing to take, okay? Because this means that you're being a woman of integrity, not only to your business, but to yourself. Oftentimes you'll find that you'll book an appointment, you'll get excited, and then you'll want to book another. And that is actually what happened to me last week. And so it really created like this momentum train because I didn't have anything on my books. And I've been working with David's Bridal. Long story short, they're going through some changes. And so I just haven't received any leads in a couple months. And I'm like, you know what? Like that was the bulk of my business. I've got to get my booty in gear. And we talk about lead generation all the time. And so I was like, hey, I'm going to go back to some of these ideas that we've given you guys and use them. And they have worked. And I'm going to share some more about those here pretty soon too. Okay, so be committed to the number of faces that you'll see every single month as a non-negotiable. So if you only want to see 10 faces a month, only see 10, but be accountable to yourself and be a woman of integrity and see those 10 faces. If you want to see 30 faces, even better. It's doable in just a few Facebook parties each month, or if you do Zoom parties, like you can get a lot of people on those in one party and really knock it all out. And then it's not taking up a lot of time. If you want to see them in person, you can see them by just holding 2 or 3 a week easily. But you can also utilize our in-person and guest events as well. So getting people to the quarterly awards night, getting them to our first TNL back. When you invite people to come to those recognition type events, it's not only helping you to build a relationship with a new customer, but it's also helping them to see a little piece of our business that people don't always get to see. Okay, number 6 is set a booking goal every week. So a goal I have heard from leaders in our company is to always have 5 by Friday. I've heard it on the hotline. Before you finish your Mary Kay week on Friday, make sure you have 5 things booked for the following week. And number 7, which ties into it, is work the numbers. So it used to be recommended that you book 8 to hold 5. Nowadays, I've heard some people say to double book, so book 10 to hold 5. And it all depends on how well you coach your appointments, which we're going to be covering next week. Knowing what your averages are and working those numbers, because this business really is mathematical, not magical. I know we hear that all the time, but if you want to see the results, you just have to follow your numbers and track them. And I heard Jamie Taylor say this on our director meeting on Monday. She said, you know, everybody always says that not quitting is half the battle, right? And we hear that all the time. But the other half of the battle is actually doing something. And so we think that, oh, if we just don't quit and we keep plugging away, well, really what we're doing is we're just like holding on for dear life. And so we have to actually do the work to get there. And so, you know, booking can be a little bit scary. And especially when you're new, it can be scary. Even for me, booking those first couple parties, I'm like, I haven't made a booking call in forever, because I had had my systems in place and it was working for me. But then I had to pivot, and it was like, wow, okay, wait, I need to get myself brushed up here. So that leads me into number 8, which is be convinced that you are a master booker. Control what is going on in your mind. If you're not feeling so confident, spend a few minutes shouting, "I am the best booker in Mary Kay."
Hang on a sec. Are we on 7 or on 8?
We're on 8. 7 was work the numbers.
Okay, I missed that one. Thank you.
Work your numbers, know how many you need to have booked to hold what you need for your goals. So become a master booker. I'm the best booker in Mary Kay. People love to book with me. I inspire women to book with me every day. Add some of those affirmations into your day, and then say them to yourself out loud before you book. People who have influence in the world have control of their minds and the narrative they tell themselves every day. Number 9 is be willing to not care about what people think. Let them decide if they want to be in your energy and space or not. Other people's opinions are not any of our business. You do you. And when you do that, you're going to attract the right people into your space. I love this for my scary ladies. I have a whole list of women who are like really successful in their businesses. And, you know, I would tell myself, well, they're so successful in their business. Why would they need Mary Kay? That's not my decision to make. You have to get out of your head. Don't worry about what they're going to think. Just message them and ask them for a facial. It's all you're doing. You know, sometimes I think about this when I think about team building too. It's like, you never know what kind of blessing you're going to have for that person that day. So this week I had a couple of different booking attempts that were like failed. And I was like, oh my gosh, Kay, like, how am I going to do this? I've got to brush up on my skills here. And then the next 3 people that I had booked with me. And so like I said, it was a numbers game. And one of the girls is a customer of mine already. And she was like, hey, you know, like, I just need a fresh makeup look. It's spring. I need to get together with you. Is it okay if I invite a few friends too? And I'm like, yes, right? Like, of course. Yeah. Bring as many people as you want. And so that encouraged me to reach out to more of my clients that I already have who use the product all the time. And even the girls who already order makeup and be like, hey, you know, like, I would love to get together with you and refresh your makeup drawer. Do you have anything, you know, are you wanting to try a new look? Or spring is coming, Easter's coming. We've got some great colors. There's just lots of ways that you can rebook people that you already know and are already a customer of yours. And then what you do with that is you don't want to just do a single facial. You want to ask her to share you with her friends and get her to invite some people to come along that you've never met before. And you can ask for that. It's okay to say, you know, hey, can you bring some friends that I don't know, you know, some new people for me? And chances are you've built this relationship with her. That's why she's still your customer. And she's going to want to support you in what you're doing. The other one that I booked was from Facebook, and she's a Facebook friend of mine. And I have been trying to get this girl booked for a year. Like, I will reach out to her every once in a while. I'm like, hey, Jessie, like, I just want to catch up with you. She's a friend of mine from Vail. And we just keep never connecting. I'd send her my link and she couldn't find a day that worked. And it was just several months had gone by. And then she posted on Facebook, I've been using the same foundation since high school and I need a new foundation. And I'm like, I messaged her. I mean, I didn't even comment on the post. I messaged her and I was like, Jessie, it's time. I'm like, I will come to you. She lives in Adrian. I'm like, I will come to you. You tell me what I need to do. Tell me when to be there. And so she did. And she got some friends together and we had such a good time. And it's just that diligence. It's that keeping up with her. I knew that I wanted to book her. She's beautiful. She has so many friends. They all do full makeup for work every day. And I knew that I wanted them to be my customers. And so it goes back to that. I know I don't have the statistics in front of me, but it's that post that we share all the time about how 80% of sales happen in that 12th to 20th contact, right? And so it's just reaching out to them all the time consistently. And then when I finally did ask her, when I said that to her, she's all like, oh my gosh, yes. Like, she had totally forgotten that I'd even done Mary Kay. And this girl is someone that I talk to all the time. And she is a good friend. And it's like, and it's all over my Facebook and my social media, but she's not on social media all the time. And so normally you might think to yourself, oh my gosh, well, if they know that I sell Mary Kay, if they wanted something, they'd reach out to me. But we don't know what they remember and what they don't remember and what they see. And what's going on in their life, we have no idea. And so just remember, if there's somebody that you want to book, just keep reaching out to her and keep trying and keep doing those touches. And granted, all those touches that I had given to Jessie were not all Mary Kay related. She moved into a new house and I asked her, you know, she posted a picture of her view at the sunset. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Like, where are you at now? And just creating conversations that build that relationship, because it's so important. It makes booking so much easier when it comes down to the time where you ask for the party. If you have that history with them, it makes it just so much easier. Okay.
She's the one that wrote that amazing tribute to you, isn't she?
Yes, same girl. And they already have their second orders put together. Like, they're waiting till their next payday, but they were just like, these prices are unbeatable. She had no idea how cheap the prices were. I don't like to say cheap, but compared to what she was spending, She went and spent $1,000 at Ulta, and she was completely dissatisfied with everything she got, and she couldn't return it. And that was like, I was like, Jesse, you could have saved so much money, but people don't know what they don't know. Right. And it's not like I had sent her a lookbook and like told her to look through the pages and look at how much we just don't do that. Right. Like we send them to PCP, but anyways, she's not on my PCP list. She is now. But so it's, people don't know what they don't know. And so you have to show them what they don't know. And okay, so getting back to that, that's not number 9 was be willing not to care about what people think. Like, don't overthink this. They either want to be in your space or they don't. They want to be in your energy or they don't. And if they don't, you don't want them in your energy. So just let that go. There's a book that I read that's called, Go for No. And I actually told MJ to read it, and she's been reading it, but it is the best book for sales that really helps you focus on saying no, getting to no to get to yes is basically the gist of it. And I couldn't tell you who, MJ could tell you who wrote it, but it's a really good book. So it's called Go for No, and it's easy to find. It's yellow and red, but it talks more on that. Okay.
So I just want to interrupt for 1 second.
Yeah.
Book. It is maybe 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch thick.
Mhm.
And it's tiny, tiny, tiny. And I got it at the library. So just saying.
Yes. It's a quick read, good information. And it just kind of helps you feel inspired and it's designed for anybody in sales. And so it really helps you to like think of it from a sales mindset, not just a Mary Kay mindset. I think sometimes we forget that like there's lots of salespeople out there. When we go buy clothes or go buy a car, go buy a house, like all these people are in sales. Sales is not something to be scared of. It's not something to be like embarrassed by or whatever. People need what we have to offer. And so when we get out of our heads in that and we go for no, that's when we get our yeses. Okay, number 10 is consistently get new names, meeting new people everywhere you go. Warm chatter, I recommend that you reach out immediately when you meet someone new with a follow-up text or call. I really don't like giving out my card anymore. I learned the hard way that nothing ever comes from that. I like to have cards for like random things. And I like to put them in my orders, and I like to put them in my thank you cards so that they can hand them out to their friends. But if I'm meeting somebody, I'd rather pull out my own phone and say, hey, Kenzie, I'm going to give you a text right now. So you have my number. What's your number? And put it in my phone and do it right now. And then I'm sending them the first message, like the first thing, like, hey, it's Heidi. I'm in Target right now. I just met you. And that's all I send. It doesn't have to be anything complex or weird, but then later I can drop the seed again of like, hey, let's get together for that facial or whatever you were talking about in your warm chatter. They're most excited to book with you right after you've talked to them. And so making sure they have your number right away is best. I was actually recently asked to join a couple of women at an event they're doing in March, and I jumped at the opportunity because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many women there who are going to be affluent, and they care about how they look and they care about their skin. And I am not an extroverted person. Anybody who knows me knows that I love being at home very, very much. But I know that this opportunity is going to be so good for my business. And so since I've been pivoting with my leads, I'm like, okay, I've got to take advantage of this opportunity. And so just keep an eye out for things that you can be a part of where networking can happen. It's not just the grocery store checkout lines, which are great, but it's also social events you're already attending. So I went to a baby shower recently, and I got some names there, or bridal showers, or kids' birthday parties, if you've got kids still, or school sporting events. Like, figure out where you can meet people where you're already going about and doing your business, church, dinner events, anything like that. Number 11 is smile when making booking calls. Put a mirror in front of you. Make sure that you're smiling. Look at yourself. Make sure you feel confident in yourself. Put some lip gloss on. They can hear your smile and they can hear your frown. So that brings me to number 12, which is be energetic. So walking around while you are talking to them on the phone, being animated. If you're just sitting at your desk, they're going to be able to tell, unless you have an awesome customer service voice. Several of you I know work in customer service. You can probably sit at your desk and make a call and sound really animated. But if you're not used to it and you are feeling a little bit, I don't know if I want to make this call, just get up and start walking around, walk out to the mailbox and back, stand on your back porch, whatever, just don't be in one spot. Number 13 is be casual, but familiar, not formal. So saying, hi, Sue, instead of saying, hello, may I please speak to Susan Jones, please? That makes you sound like a telemarketer, and they're going to just hang up. They probably won't even listen to what you have to say. They're like, nope, click. And number 14 is know what you're going to say to her and use scripts, but make them your own. This is really important. We have so many scripts that are on the Facebook group and we talk about them often, but I find that I have the most success when I just create my own script, which is why I'm not really giving you any scripts tonight. I feel like it's easier just to have these things come about in an organic way when I'm booking people. And that comes from the Facebook groups too. So like if I saw a mom who was on Meridian Mom's group and she's like, you guys, I have wrinkles. I need an eye cream. Help me. And then I had a conversation with her about that in the DMs. And so I just shot her a message. I was like, hey, I know that you said that you didn't want to work with any MLMs, and I will respect that. But I want you to know that Mary Kay does have really good eye creams, and I would love to be of service to you. And she said that it wasn't so much that she didn't want to work with. Number 13 is be casual, familiar, not formal. It's not that she didn't want to work with MLMs, but I started asking her some questions and getting to know her. And it wasn't that she didn't want to work with the MLM, which I know Mary Kay is not, but people will group us in there. So for this, we're talking about it like that. It was that she didn't want to be on a subscription. She didn't want to be where you have to sign up as a consultant in order to even get the product, or you have to sign up for a monthly thing. Yeah.
Auto ship. There's a lot of companies that do that. There's one that's getting ready to close their doors too, by the way. So we're so pay attention. I heard Rhode Island Fields is not doing too good.
Yeah, I heard that too, April. I heard that too. And their auto ship, that's one of them. And so like people don't want to have to do that. So as soon as okay, this brings me to another topic, which we could go on forever. But if you are social media selling, and that is where you are talking to people and it is what you are doing, and I need to do more of this, go in your stories and talk to your audience that you already have and let them know what Mary Kay is about, that we are about trying before you buy, and we have 100% money back guarantee, and we don't require auto ship, because so many of the people they know that we're in Mary Kay, but they don't know what that means. And so if you just share a little bit, it doesn't have to be in your story. It can be a post. It can be, I just find that posts get skipped over unless it's a video of you talking or a selfie of you. You guys have seen my social media. I always post a selfie with something important that I want to say. And some people might say that seems narcissistic, but for me, it gets responses. It gets people talking. It gets people liking it. Even if they didn't read what I said, they're like, you're so beautiful. It still opens the conversation for me to be able to say, hey, thank you so much for that sweet compliment. Like I would love to get to know you better or chat with you or whatever. And then you can book them from that. And so when you're on social media, things that are just a graphic and some words are not going to get read. And there might be a handful of people out there who would read it. But ask yourself, when you're scrolling social media, what are you stopping and watching? What are you scrolling past? What are you reading? What grabs your attention? And whatever grabs your attention is what's going to grab your audience's attention, because you are your audience, right? You love the product. You love to use it head to toe. You believe in it. And that's who you want on your team and as a client. So just making sure that you are getting that information out there so that they know what they don't know what they're missing out on. Just like my girls didn't know. She didn't know that it was a try before you buy. She thought that I was just going to color match her and like send her home with foundation. She didn't know that the color appointment had everything in it. That's why she was so blown away when she did that review. She's like, she had eyebrow pencils and lipsticks. And granted, you might not have all of that. Even if you're working from a color card, they're still getting more than they think that they're going to get. Okay. All right, sorry, I went on a tangent there for a second. Social media is so important. And I'm learning that. I'm learning that more and more every day. Like I have this like nagging in my head that's like, Heidi, you need to be more present on social media. And I keep being in resistance to it because of my own fear of how I look on camera. And I know that is so silly. It's one of my affirmations that I rewrote this week. Because people want to hear what you have to say and they follow you and they're your friends on social media for a reason. If they didn't like you or like what you were posting or what you were saying, they would just unfollow you because people are like that. So if you've got an audience already, use them. The only thing that you cannot post on your personal social media is prices. Even the call to action is okay now. You can say in your story, if you're live in your story, you can say, hey guys, click this link below and come join me in my private VIP group. Or here's my website. You can order from my website. I do still put a little asterisk at the bottom. Those of you who follow my stories can have seen that, but I put a little asterisk at the bottom. And I say, please don't have a consultant already, because even though that's not one of the social media rules, it's just the golden rule. And so even if they don't read it, I know I put it up there and then I still ask them if I'm talking to them. Okay. So number 14 was know what you're going to say to her and use scripts to make them your own. So this goes back to knowing what you want to book that person for. So if you have a customer that has already done, she's already on skincare, she's already on makeup, find another way to connect with her and utilize like a hydra session or lips and brows or masks and mimosas or whatever you want to do. Find some other way that you connect with her and put that down next to her name so that when you reach out to her, you know what it is that you're wanting to book her for specifically. And then number 15 is to keep it simple and have fun. Remember that you have something amazing to offer. So just like I was just preaching on you guys, we have the best business model. And I'm reminded of that every time that I step out of my comfort zone and do something new. I'm reminded of that. Like I get into my own little rut and habits of the way I do things. And when I shake it up a little bit, I'm like, oh yeah, we do have the best business plan. Like this is amazing. This is a really good opportunity and people want to have what we have. Okay, I'm running out of time. I'm surprised that I'm talking so fast. I'm obviously really passionate tonight. Sick. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so text booking. Modern technology today is all about anything electronic, computers, cell phones, messenger, like we were talking about, social media. We have texting services like Scipio, which is a Mary Kay endorsed platform, or Project Broadcast that can reach large lists of people with a common message. And I think that those are great. I think that they serve a purpose for getting a sale out there or letting people know that you have a big goal, things that you can script that can reach the masses and still keep their attention. I would shy away from platforms like that when you're trying to book though, because those are personal conversations. Those are going to get the better result. So you'll hear all sorts of things about how you should respond or talk to people. But I always tell everybody just follow your heart and do what you feel, and then try something new. We know that we all have to put our own little words and change things in here and there to fit our own personalities. And when you don't do that, people know. People can tell that you have something scripted. So I got a message today that gave me major ick factor, and I'm going to share it with you. And this is exactly what you don't want to do. So it says, hey, Heidi. So she did use my name. I have no idea who this person is, by the way. I've never talked to them before. They've been a Facebook friend of mine I went back and looked, and I think it's been like a year and a half, but I just don't know who she is. And she said, I hope this is okay. So first of all, I'm like, well, that's not okay. Like, she already put like a negative spin in my head for this conversation. And she says, I was wondering if you'd like an entry into my team's cash giveaway. We all put money into a pot to make this happen. So yes, this is real. Basically, we're sending 1,400 to one person on the first. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is copy and paste a short post on your wall for me. That's it. It would help me out greatly. Can I send the post? I have never talked to her before. I don't know what she does. I don't know who her company is. It sounds like spam or like one of those Cash App scams. And that's not something I want to be a part of. And so those are the kinds of messages that you don't want to send because they're not personal. If it was me, if I was in her shoes and I was in whatever her business is, I would probably have gone to my page and looked at some things and found out some commonality that we had and opened the conversation up with that first, and then shared and asked me what I do. And I would have told her that I was a Mary Kay director. And then I would have asked her, what do you do? And then that would have opened up the conversation for her to be like, well, actually, this is what I do. And I'm working towards a really big goal right now, and share with me what her goal is. And then ask me if I want to copy and paste a message for her. Do you guys see the difference in that? Okay, cool. So I know that we get lots of messages like those, but I just happened to get that one this morning. And I was like, oh, that's going in my training. It's icky. It gives you major ick factor. All right. So, a couple of things for text booking. I know I'm running out of time here. How much more do I have? Okay. Just a little bit. A couple of things is that you don't want your text message to get too lengthy. I know that texts are the way that people are responding. If it's more than like 2 sentences or 3 sentences, people will usually skim it, beginning, end, respond or don't respond. Is either delete. This isn't something I'm interested in. I have a gal that I buy Pampered Chef from. I love her to death. When I need something, I reach out to her, but I get these big, long paragraph texts from her like every week. And I see who it's from. And I see the first sentence, whether it's a sale or not. And then I delete because I know I don't need anything. And it's kind of the same thing as the ick factor from the Facebook message. So don't send anything too lengthy. It needs to be conversational, like I just said. So whether it's text or Facebook, it's the same thing. We're not storybook messaging here. And also send more than one text message. They may not get the first one, but they'll get the second one. So you want to send them back to back. You don't want to send one and then wait like a half hour and be like, oh, I should add this to it. But especially our younger generation, like Gen Z, is looking at that. They look at that stuff and they look to see if you left them on read, or if you're shortening your sentences to like say like a letter U instead of spelling out you. They are looking at that stuff, and that is icky to them. So I don't know. That's just tips that I got from a young Mary Kay person on one of her trainings. So make it look professional. Don't make it look lazy. Keep your wording professional but friendly. And then the big one, and this works for me all the time. I use this all the time. You girls who are in my unit know, use your voice. So send voice messages. I know that like Android to Android doesn't, I don't know if they have, I just know Apple. So I know with Apple, with iMessage, I can send a voice clip to somebody. Facebook, Instagram, I send a voice clip to somebody. If they have an Android and it's not compatible with whatever device I'm using, then I will leave them a voicemail and then I will text them, because people aren't answering their phones, especially if they don't know who it is. Very rarely will I have somebody pick up the phone and be like, actually talk to me. I have not had a conversation on the phone with somebody who's not already a current client and has me saved in their phone number. And it's not personal business for forever. Like that just hasn't happened. And I know that I'm not the only one out there. I know some of you guys still do old school phone calls, but a lot of our younger generation does not. And so, but hearing the voice is so important. They can hear the excitement. They can hear what you have. It's like they can hear that smile. There's so much missed communication in a text that you can give in a voice message. So my unit, I try to respond to them with a voice clip if I can, because then they can hear like more about what I'm trying to say. It just helps. It helps tremendously. So you can text and then send a voice clip. If you just send a voice clip, sometimes people are like, what is this? And I'll just delete it. But text, you can, hey, MJ, this is Heidi. I'm going to send you a real quick voice clip because that's easier to say, and then do it. Let's see. I'm running out of time. I'm going to skip some of this because I think I already talked about it. Yes, I did. Okay. So remember that 9 to 9 is people time. After 9, you may get unhappy recipients, but I like to say that I know who my customers are who stay up really late or are early risers, and I make notes of that in their profile. So like in their contact card on my phone, and when there's a section for notes, I put in there night owl or early bird, or they, sometimes they text me at 7 a.m. asking for a refill. I know that's when they're washing their face. I know that's when they're in their bathroom. And so I make notes like that in the profile card so that I know it's okay to reach out at odd hours. What else? Oh, another thing is that people like text because they can't always answer their phone at work. They can't talk on the phone at work, but they can text at work and get away with it. So if you are reaching people during those business hours, a text is always better. Let's see. I already talked about some of this. Scroll down. Okay, let's get to homework for this week. So for this week, this is why I have notes. I'm like, did I talk about all this yet? I think I did. You guys are so good to bear with me. Okay, so number 1 for assignments this week is to decide what you will use as your hostess plan. And then you're going to talk about that in coaching with your director. Let her know what you chose. Make sure it's something you're excited about. Number 2 is to get out your list of 60 guests in 6 minutes and refresh it. So add some more names, add some of those customer names that are really good customers of yours. And then write down next to the names what you want to book them for. So are they a brand new? You're going to do skincare, right? Because that's number 1. We always start with skincare, and then color, and then there's hydra sessions, and then et cetera, et cetera. So you can pick what you want to do with them. Then number 4 is I want you to mark the times in your date book when you'll be holding appointments or inviting people to TNL or guest events and highlight those. Okay, so we talked about that. So you're getting your list out. You know what your hostess plan is. You know what you want to book this person for. And you know what times you have available. And then you're going to get on the phone and start booking. So we are going to start booking this week, guys. So track on your bubble sheet. I would love for you to fill out the whole sheet, but I'm not going to make you do that. So just do as much as you can because you guys all have different goals. We're not all needing to do 50 IPAs this month. So whatever your goal is, make an appropriate amount of numbers in your bubble sheet.
So what was Heidi? What was 3?
3 is next to their name, write down what kind of party you want to have with them so that it's right in front of you.
3. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Had that down at 2. And so then mark the times and dates in your date book is 4.
And then 5 is get started booking.
Okay. Thank
Your
you.
bubble sheet. Yep. And that's it for this week, you guys. So 1, decide your hostess plan. 2, get your list out and refresh it. 3, write down what kind of party you want to have with them. 4, mark the dates in your date book that you have available and any TNL or guest events that are coming up. And then 5, get to booking. You guys can do this. I totally believe in all of you. I'm so excited to see what we do this week. You guys, there's also the booking challenge, the 21-day booking challenge. I know Rebecca did it with me. I think Kelly did it with me too. I think it was last year before. I think April, you've done it before too. It's on our Facebook group. I'll refresh it or maybe go tag it so you guys can see it, but it is a great tool to use. It essentially goes over everything that we just went over, but it's a little outdated. So like I said, with the scripts, you want to make them your own. Don't just copy and paste what's in there. That's not going to work for you, right? Okay. We had great success with it though. When you do a booking challenge and you're just really putting your energy into booking, you're going to fill up your March so fast that it's going to help propel you to the end of the seminar year. I'm at the end of the semester. Talk about school brain. The end of the seminar year. So you can, whatever your goal is, we set our goals in that first week, and now we're going to work towards them. So does anybody have any questions? That was like a lot of information and I talked really fast. So
It was all great, Heidi. Thank you so much.
you're so welcome.
Krista's asking a question too.
the booking be virtual? Yes, absolutely. Yes. So I like to use Zoom. You can do FaceTime though, or a Facebook Messenger. I know there's Facebook rooms you can do too. There's all kinds of ways, but just virtual is perfect. And you can actually, I don't know if you have any samples, Krista, but I don't think you do, but Allie might have some down there too. So just reach out to her too. You could mail some samples to her, or you can use CDS to mail samples. So we can talk about that in your coaching call this week, Kate. Okay. And congratulations on your new team member. Super excited for you.
Yay.
Yes. All right. Anything else, ladies? Okay. I would love to have some inspirational quote, but I didn't even get the announcements out, so I didn't get one found. I could say though, the Mary Kay Ash quote is that if you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you're right. So keep it straight, work hard this week, you guys. And just, we can do this. I'm so excited to see what we all do. Oh, do you have something? Okay, April's got something.
So this one was from the 26th, and I left it up because I really liked it. So since you said that, I was like, ooh, this would be good. So it's about courage. A great deal of talent is lost in this world for the want of a little courage. So if you become discouraged, and we all do sometimes, will you become cynical and despondent? Will you rush around with no real purpose or plan? Or will you recover your courage as quickly as possible and do what must be done? And I love that because it's like I could just imagine Mary Kay, losing her husband 2 months before she's opening the doors to her company and going to leadership conference anyway and opening the doors anyway, and just all the things that that I think it was leadership conference when Marilyn passed away, her daughter, and she still went to leadership conference even though her daughter just died. I mean, talk about courage. She had it. She was a risk taker, and she did all of this for us, all of
Yes.
us, and everyone. So pass it on. Thanks.
I love that, April. Thank you so much. Love it. All right, ladies, have a beautiful rest of your week. Bye.
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 Bye.